What's good, professional gamblers? So right now, I'm actually on a trader's retreat, right? Where I take the time out to actually just think and reflect so that I can actually get mental clarity so that I can come back as a better trader, as a sniper gambler. All right, just kidding. So anyways, I wanted to walk you guys through what I personally do on like a trader retreat just like this to enhance my trading performance, to ensure that I come back clear, focused, my mental acuity is as sharp as bread go, right? But yeah, before I do so, man, I just want to show you guys the view from this place. Like, the view from this place is crazy. Trust me when I say that I've been to a lot of beautiful places, luxury villas that cost $5,000 a night, but nothing beats this view, right? Just take a look at this. Oh shit, right? So those are the Twin Towers. This is actually my first time in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, right? Pretty pang. Right, you can see right there, panoramic view. That's the real view. But you know, the boss is hanging out, but it's okay. Anyways, we got the tower right there, right? I don't know what tower that is, but it looks pretty sick. And you can see the mountains at the back though. Let me just zoom in for you guys. Oh shit, alright. So the view is pretty pang, right? Not gonna lie. Guys, first of all, I just want to say, go and spend your money and reward yourself. If you are making money from trading, yes, put some into your trading account to compound it over time. But from time to time, please take the money out and enjoy. Now remember, the reason why we are trading in the first place is so that we can get freedom, not so that we can tie down to our desk staring at bloody candlestick charts every single day. It's so that we can get money, so that we can have money to actually spend. Oh, Brad, but I'm broke. I need to save money. Well, when I was broke, what I'll do is that I will go to like a 5-star hotel, like a nice cafe, and spend about $100, which is all I have in my bank account, to experience what it's like to be rich. Okay, because once you start experiencing this stuff, it increases your vibration frequency and you get used to this thing, and subconsciously, you want to work harder to actually experience this again. And once again, you must remember that we are making money from trading so that we can spend it in beautiful experiences, right? That's just life. It's about experiencing the fullness of life, not just about saving money that is worthless in 10 years from now. It's about exchanging dollars for units in the memory bank when you actually gain this beautiful experience. And we all know that, like, if you have like a very good experience on a trip, you're more likely going to remember it. And then when you go back, you always work 10 times harder, right? So anyways, I'm going to show you guys like how I actually do this traders retreat and what I personally do to actually review my trading performance monthly, weekly, quarterly, yearly, right? To ensure that I'm always improving, I'm always refining my trade plan, and my entries and exits are always getting better and better. And this, my friend, is what professional traders don't show you. Oops, room service is here. Let me just get my food first. Hello, hi. Okay, I can just put it right there. All right. Okay, thank you so much.
Enjoy
Yeah.
your sandwich.
Have a good day. All right, we're eating sandwiches today, boys, because we got to stay humble, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let me just drop the sauce for you guys real quick over here. Let me just sit down here. Now, before I share with you my 4-step reviewing process that actually make me millions of dollars in this market, let me just quickly show you my trading journal real quick for transparency purposes. Right, so you can see this is where I actually document all my trades. You can see every single trade taken this month was documented over here. This month we are already crossing over 100K already, and then last month was a pretty shit month, right? We end up only making like 58K, right? It is what it is. And then the previous month we made about 100 plus K as well, right? So we have been consistently making 100K every single month since the start of January, right? Since the start of this year. And once again, if you go to my second channel, you will see me documenting every single trade I've taken since the start of this year itself, right? You can see my journey to actually crossing 7 figures, all on my second channel itself, Brett Trades. So go and follow or subscribe if you haven't done so. I genuinely don't think there's a single trading guru out there that is this transparent, where I can actually show you his entry to exit live on the markets, and he did it for 6 months straight, right? So you can see my entire 6-month track record over here. But yeah, let me just walk you guys through the 4-step framework that I actually use. Now, this 4-step framework, I do it every single week. I do it every single month. I do it every single quarter. Once again, this is where I actually take the time out to review my trades. Okay, you must understand that time off the charts is much more important than time you spend on the charts. A lot of times, you guys are just in execution mode, right? And as a result, you're staring at the charts all day, 15 hours a day, and then you are trying to enter for as many trades as humanly possible. Well, that's the wrong mindset, right? Because if you keep on doing the same thing over and over again, how the hell are you going to get different results, right? So it all comes down to catering time, right? Setting time aside to actually go and reflect and review your trades itself, right? So here's the 4-step framework that I personally use. The first step to actually get better as a trader, or rather to make your trading strategy even more profitable, is to audit your trading. Okay, so this is what we call a spot check, right? So what you want to do is to go and review all of the trades that you have taken at the end of the month itself, right? So at the end of each month, go and review all the trades that you've taken. It could be 50 trades, 30 trades, 10 trades, whatever it is, go and review them. When you are reviewing them, I want you to do two things, right? I want you to spot what's working and what's not working. Okay, so when you audit, you also want to make sure that you actually look out for the way you actually enter and exit certain trades and see whether all of these trades lines up with your trade plan or not. Okay, because as a professional trader, what we want to do is to really reduce our gap between our live performance and our demo performance, right? Which is exactly why you want to make sure that you are an absolute robot executing your trade plan religiously day in, day out, right? So you want to spot that gap, okay? But like I said, you can't do that if you don't actually audit your trade, right? So set aside a time at the end of each month, at the end of each quarter to go and review the past 30, 50 trades that you have taken during that time period itself, right? So during this time period, like I said, go and audit every single aspect of your trading. Your entry strategy, your exit strategy, your risk management, what time you are trading, what is your trading style, and really ultimately develop your edge through this intensive reviewing process. Okay, so that's the first step. Quick announcement before we move to the next step. The price for the 1% club is doubling very, very soon. We are doing this because demand has absolutely exploded. Maybe because of the fact that we are the only program with such an insane guarantee, and also we have thousands of student results. And we are also going to be upgrading the entire program, which means more coaching, more advanced trading systems and entry models, in-person retreats, and support. So if you've ever been sitting on the fence, this is your final chance to lock in at the current price. After next week, it's gone. And bear in mind, we only have 8 slots left for this intake itself. So if you're serious about becoming a consistently profitable 6-figure funded trader in the next 6 to 12 months, guaranteed, click the first link in bio and apply right now before the doors close. And let's go back to the video. The second step is to identify, right? This is where you want to identify your strengths and weaknesses, all right? You want to really find out, like what I mentioned in the first step, what's working and what's not working. If today I'm trading order blocks, and I found that in the past 3 trades, majority of them, I've won it through order block strategy. In that case, I'm going to be more likely to identify more order blocks in the future and trade those order blocks itself, right? It's just common sense because I want to do more of what's working. Okay, and the flip side is true, right? I want to do less of what's not working. So when I'm reviewing my trades, this is where I'm looking out for what are the mistakes that I'm constantly repeating over and over again. And it could come in the form of technicals, right? Which is maybe you are marking your structure wrongly. Or it could come in the form of psychological, where you always find yourself getting FOMO at the start of New York session, where you always find yourself getting greedy after a winning streak. These are patterns, these are behavior, these are actions that you take over and over again. But like I said, if you don't carve the time out to actually review your trading process, review your trading strategy, you will not be able to spot what's not working, right? So once you're able to spot what's not working and what's actually working, the third step is to go and eliminate what's not working. Now, the key to trading success is very simple, but it's not easy, right? It's simple, but it's not easy. The key to trading success is not to make more money every single month. It's to get better every single month. It's to continuously get better at executing your trades with more precision. If you can do that for a long period of time, for an extended period of time, you will be able to snipe these 1:5, 1:10 R trades with precision. Like I said, your goal as a trader is to get better, not to make money, right? Money is should be your focus, right? But as you get better as a trader, as you level up, as your trading strategy gets more refined and your entries get much more accurate, then that is where you'll make more money as a byproduct. Now, the secret to improving your trading performance and getting better as a trader is, once again, not to be fixated on the money, right? Not to attach your self-worth to your P&L, but rather try to make less mistakes. Okay, it's really that simple. Try to make less mistakes. So, the mistakes that I used to make as a beginner trader is like revenge trading, trading with FOMO, greed, all these emotions, all these like beginner mistakes. Well, I no longer commit those mistakes anymore, right? Maybe I do from time to time, but the frequency is much more lesser now. I used to commit these mistakes on like a daily basis, but now I only commit it on like a monthly or like a quarterly basis, like once a quarter, right? And that only comes with self-awareness, right? Because I was aware that these are the behavior, these are the self-sabotaging behavior that I keep repeating over and over again. These are the actions that are not aligned with the trader that I'm trying to become right now. Right, because I'm trying to become a disciplined, professional, high-level trader who can analyze the charts quick and who can actually be extremely disciplined, not just in the markets, but in life as well. Right, so if I'm revenge trading, if I'm trading with FOMO, if I'm not following my plan, if I'm not journaling after a losing streak, and then once again, your actions are incongruent with the identity that you're trying to build up right now. Right? So start by really becoming self-aware of these emotions, this self-sabotaging behavior, right? These psychological barriers, these mental barriers. And then once you can do that, right, you want to eliminate those stuff. Okay? Once again, this is not going to happen overnight, right? But the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, right? So start by eliminating one mistake every single week, right? Just stop doing that thing that you know is harming your trading, that you know that you shouldn't be doing. The final step is to actually double down. All right, so far we have talked about audits, identify, eliminate. The last step is to double down on what's actually working. So in order for you to double down on what's actually working, once again, you need data. You can't be judging your trading strategy based on 10 trades. You need a large sample size of trades to prove that your edge actually works or doesn't work. That is why I always preach you guys to take at least 100 trades, be it in simulated market conditions or in live market conditions, before you start thinking about tweaking your trading plan. Right? So once you are able to get that large sample size of trades, right? Imagine this, you have 100 trades laid out on your backtesting spreadsheet and you know exactly which entry model works the best, which market conditions tends to be the most profitable. Then you can literally see in like a bird's eye view what's working and what's not working. And then you just got to double down on what's working, right? For example, for me, based on a lot of trial and error, a lot of experimentation, I found out that I'm an intraday trader. I'm not a scalper, right? Because I don't really like the adrenaline. I don't really like getting stressed out by every single pip. But I'm also not a swing trader because I'm trying to make money on like a daily basis. Not in an unhealthy way, but like in a healthy way, I promise, right? So intraday trading is like that beautiful sweet spot. So that is where I decided to, you know what, this year I'm just going to focus on intraday trading because for the past 6 months, I've been doing a lot of intraday trading and I always make the most amount of money when I intraday trade compared to when I'm scalping. And that, like I said, only comes when you go and actually audit your trades. And then also another thing that I realized about myself is that one of my 10 different entry models tends to perform the best in this market condition. And that is my entry model number 3, which is a fake market shift entry model, which I show my students inside 1% Club. That entry model works like magic, bro. I'm telling you. Whenever I see the entry model on the charts, 8 out of 10 times, it plays out the way that I want it to play out. Right? I always end up hitting take profit whenever I see the entry model. And also, obviously, when it's matched in a very high probability environment. Right? So once again, I managed to get all this insight by inspecting, by reviewing my trade data, right? So since I know, okay, this tends to work the best for me and my trading style and my personality and it suits the goals that I'm trying to achieve, then I just gotta keep on doing this stuff, right? And the self-sabotaging behavior, you know, the emotionally immature behavior that I used to do, I gotta stop doing those stuff, right? Because that's just gonna drive me further away from my goals. That's just gonna prevent me from becoming the person that I'm trying to become, right? So once I start having this awareness, everything changes, right? You become very, very powerful when you can identify your strength and your weaknesses, and you can develop strategies to actually mitigate your weaknesses, right? Just like risk management. Develop strategies to actually manage that risk, right? That part of yourself, which is just going to be ruining your trading results if you continue to let it. So yeah, bro, that's pretty much the 4-step framework that I've been using for the past 6 years now. Once again, you have seen me go from like a bedroom, wearing like a black robe to now wearing like a 5-star hotel robe, right? Nothing too crazy, right? It's just life. When you get better, when you level up, you make more money, your trading account gets bigger, life gets better, right? And all of this comes at a price of hard work, right? Because in life, you can either pay the price of regret or pay the price of discipline. Okay, so go out there, right? Go and implement this 4-step framework right now, right? Don't skip to the next video. Don't fucking watch another trading lifestyle video of this 20-year-old wanker just bought a new Lamborghini. Don't do that shit. Don't numb yourself from the pain. Go and confront your inner demons. Go and overcome your shortcomings, your weaknesses that you know it's preventing you from becoming consistently profitable, right? So go and lock eyes with the demon, right? Go and point a middle finger at that bitch. All right, so go and do that right now, right? Don't look at me, right? Just go and do the work right now. Overcome the resistance in your head. Overcome the silent voice in your head telling you to not do the work. Do not negotiate with your inner bitch. Go and do it right now. Okay, so once you're done, go down to the comment and put #Ragical. RAGICAL. It's a mix between rational and logical. And if you know, you know, right? And then you can also write down what is your biggest key takeaway from this 4-step framework itself, right? What have you found out that is genuinely just preventing you from actually getting the results that you want, from you crushing the goals that you're trying to crush, from you achieving the life that you want to achieve, all right? So yeah, man, I know I might sound a little bit crazy this video, but it's really because like I've never done like a video of me with like my balls out. Like it feels kind of weird because I'm not wearing anything below. But yeah, man, I don't even know why I'm telling you guys this. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. And as always, remember, you're just one trade away. Mwah.